guys. Enough said. Meet Simmons. Back with another video. We got a video from, this is Love McPherson. She is making some great points here, and we want to dive right into it.
Sometimes in certain churches, they come to me because they can't get the conditioning of sex is evil, sex is bad, you're pure. So now what am I? I lost my purity. I lost everything to have sex with my husband and be married. It's some subconscious things that you have to overcome in order to enjoy a beautiful sex life. But let me tell you all something. When God created sex, this is what he did. Inside of that sex, there is stress relief. There is, it'll heal your edges, lady.
All right. How your edges doing? Your edges good? You good? Okay.
My edges are good.
I will make sure.
But do you squeeze it on the edges?
No, I don't think that's... Chill out.
Like,
relax, bro. I don't think that's what they meant. Relax. You get a little too graphic.
That's what I was
she
like.
said squeeze it. You know what? Moving on. I think that this is something that is rarely talked about, especially in church, or even, I mean, we ain't even got to talk about church in general. We can just talk about marriage, because there are a lot of sexless marriages out there, in the church, out of church. It really doesn't matter. But there is this, within the church, there is this thought process that sex is dirty. And because it's like, they tell you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, then you get married, then just do it. Well, it's hard to change that. It's really difficult to turn it off and turn it back on. All of a sudden, you stand in front of a bunch of people, sign a few documents, and then you're free to just go do whatever you want to do. And then people are like, ooh, but that program is still there, and it's very deep in people. This is something that's very common that we've seen with couples that we work with. It's very common for a couple to have a sexless marriage. Culturally speaking, just people aren't having sex anymore. There's a lot of stress, work, and things like that. The kids, people just aren't having sex. So
you're talking about people in marriage.
Married people.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
some
single
other
people
ones,
getting it.
they doing it.
Yeah,
They doing the dang thing.
It's something about marriage that people are just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think?
I wholeheartedly agree with what she's saying. Even being in that church environment, we didn't really talk about it. So let's talk about what that looks like. And then let's even talk about what it's gonna look like when you do get married and you're able to really, we didn't have that conversation. It was just this dirty, stay away from it, don't do it. And then on the DL, people were still doing it, and people still do it now in church. On the DL, they was having sex and, ooh, you know, so-and-so on the choir, sleeping with so-and-so on the choir, like, it's happening, but we never had that healthy dynamic or talk or discussion about what sex is and why God designed it and how beautiful it actually is. And then when you are married, what it looks like. And that's coming from the church perspective. On the other side, if you're not even, you know, from a church perspective or even a Christian or whatever, still having that healthy conversation with your teens and your children about what sex is and the responsibility of it, and even the fulfillment of it within the marriage, the confines of marriage.
Just prioritizing it.
Yeah.
Most couples don't prioritize sex. You know, outside of the church, whatever, and people just don't prioritize. They get busy with the kids, busy with work, all these other outside activities. They don't prioritize. And you look up, and it's been 2 months since you had sex.
I know, like in our premarital coaching sessions with our clients, we spend a lot of time talking about sex. Because I remember when we had our premarital, did we even talk about sex?
No.
At all?
Didn't talk about nothing.
Yeah, we didn't. It was horrible.
Straight
So when we're meeting with our clients, we have a long, sometimes several sessions talking about sex, what it looks like. You know, what are some of your expectations that you have as a man coming into the marriage regarding sex? What do I expect? And your commitment to actually making sure that that is something that you do regularly. And then if there are kids, if they have kids prior to the marriage, we talk about what that looks like. And when you do have kids, what sex looks like. Like we're talking to them about the seasons of it and still prioritizing the sexual relationship, because it is necessary. It's not optional. It's necessary to have a healthy, long-lasting, fulfilling marriage. And I notice, like, if we go too long, I feel disconnected. I don't feel as in tune with you. There is a wall that it comes up really quickly. And if we're not connecting physically and sexually, that wall it gets easier and easier, and that distance gets wider and wider. So it is so imperative that you as a married couple have that regular sexual contact and relationship, and you build that
He talked about the physiological effects of having sex. There is you release dopamine, oxytocin, all these things that your body needs to release to help make you feel good, get the feeling of euphoria, release those endorphins, all those things like that. And you need those things to be a happy, healthy person. A healthy sex life it makes for a healthy person. And so those are things that are rarely talked about, and people really don't understand that's a big part of their problem in their relationships is because they're not being intimate. Intimacy doesn't always mean the act of sex, but sex should be on the table at all times. At all times. So I thought this was like a good funny video to segue into kind of a serious conversation. And with that, that's enough said.